Joined now in New Orleans by Georgia State head coach Shawn Elliott, who has pretty much become our de facto travel buddy. Every time we're in the airport going to media day, we either run into you or Coach Chadwell. Most of the time it's you, and we were on the same flight coming down here, so things are, I guess, back to normal.
Do you still call it the same flight when you guys are in first class and I'm back there scrunched in between two 900-pound people? I mean, come on.
Sounds like your people need to talk to our people.
I tell you what, yeah. How about we just charter our own plane? We fly together. Oh, that's
Let's
right.
do it.
Coach Lunsford did fly private, didn't he? Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah. The commoners over here, you and I, it's okay.
We're used to that by now.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Back-to-back winning seasons, first time in Georgia State history, a bowl victory a year ago again over Western Kentucky. How have you built this program?
Well, it's very simple through hard work and effort. I mean, that's exactly how it is. That's kind of my mentality. I'm kind of an energy guy. I love to work. When I'm working, I work hard. When I'm not, I'm relaxing hard. But we built it through just tough, hard-nosed work, and I guess instilling the ability to win in our guys' minds. I think they have that in their minds now. When they go out, they feel like they can go attack and conquer. It doesn't matter who we're playing. And that's something that you have to build. You just don't have that. You don't have that confidence. And I think we have that confidence.
The biggest change that we've identified since you took over in 2017, you're the longest tenured coach in the league now at 5 years.
Yeah, wow.
That's hard to believe.
It is very hard.
But the biggest change since you took the reins is how much more physical Georgia State is. You're running the football, great offensive line. You've got everybody back on offense, literally all 11 starters. Adopting that physical mindset and that changeover, when did you really see that take hold?
Oh, I think, well, when you came in to our program, when I did, it was almost right after spring practice that very first year, because they weren't a very physical football team.
Yeah.
The offensive line was poor at that time. I was an offensive line coach. I knew where the games were really won and lost, both in the interior, so I wanted to build it from that way out, from the inside out. When we went into that first spring, it was tackle. I mean, when I say it was tackle, it was blocking, it was moving people, it was fighting, it was. They had to understand what it took to move a man from one place to another. And I think after that 15 days, we went into our spring game that year. And I remember somebody walking off, and they said, "Damn, that wasn't a spring game. What were y'all doing out there? You trying to kill each other?" And I said, you got to get that mentality. You can't take a day off. And I was telling someone last night, we played South Alabama that year. We played them on a Thursday night on a short week. I didn't change a thing. We had our off day on Sunday. We practiced Monday. Tuesday was full pads. Wednesday was full pads. And then we went and played Thursday. And our team was looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Listen, we've got to make sure you understand what we're trying to do here. We're trying to be physical. We're trying to be tough. We're trying to go out there, and we're trying to overpower people." And it's taken off since then.
What's been the hardest thing? You talk about all the change in this program the last couple of years since you took over, but what's been the hardest thing that you've seen really having to grind at to change with this program?
I don't think anything's been hard. I think, I'm a football coach. I do it because I love it. When we have the ability to recruit players that we want to have in our program, you go find the guys that you think can develop your program, can continuously build that tough, the discipline, the hard-nosed attitude, and you can go out and do that. I wouldn't say anything's been really difficult, to tell you the truth. I enjoy what I do. Sure, there's some moments in between that you have to kind of shake your head a little bit at, but it's not. It's been a great process. It's what I do. It's what we do at Georgia State, and it's what our staff's about. It's what our football program's about. I like things to be tough, so maybe that tough is the norm for me.
It was tough middle of last season. I don't want to hark on this too much, but the loss to Coastal 51-0.
Yeah.
After that, you were a different team. You won 4 of your final 5, defeated Georgia Southern late last season after the Eagles had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter. What changed?
Nothing really changed. We had played really well prior to that game. We lost some close ones. we're playing Arkansas State, and we didn't have our defensive coordinator because of COVID protocols, and
That was a wild game.
it was very wild. I think we lost 3 games by a total of 12 points a year ago, and then the Coastal game, just for whatever reason, and I'm not afraid to say it, it just wasn't meant to be. We went out there and we had a great opening drive and potentially missed a field, or did miss the field goal. They scored on us, and it just snowballed from there. I could have really went into that locker room after that game and really, just beat down our football team for whatever reason. But that wasn't the way to go. We were a good football team. We just didn't play very well that day. And they knew we were good or better, and we just went out and did what we were supposed to do.
This has been an offense that's had the pieces for a number of years, but Cornelius McCoy, Sam Pinckney, Destin Coates, they've all had to deal with injuries over the last couple of years. Last year, for the most part, they stayed healthy, and the results, they became even more so.
Yeah, it's very interesting because, Destin had a foot injury. Sam actually broke his hand in camp last year. I mean, I remember we were 2 weeks in, and they come and they say, Sam broke his hand. I was like, what? Another injury to this young man. He had a knee injury his freshman year. It's almost scary to think if they can stay out of that injury bug, how good they can be. They're very, very talented players. They're great young men to be around. It's just unusual to see those injuries sometimes.
Somebody that really took the Sun Belt by storm last year, Quad Brown. What has he meant to your program?
Well, Quad's got a big personality. He loves what he does. He's real similar to me in the aspect that when he comes in there, there's never a frown. There's never, I frown a lot on game day, but other than that, we go into the office and we just have a really good time. He comes to practice. You see him in the weight room. Everything is upbeat. It's motivating. It's inspiring, and he's brought that to our team. So it's an enjoyable atmosphere when Quad Brown's around, and that's why he's around a lot.
Jordan Strawn had an amazing season last year among the national leaders in sacks, but he transfers to South Carolina. Yeah. How do you fill that gap?
Well, I mean, you recruit. We've done that. We've got to transfer in from Wake Forest. We moved actually a quarterback to that outside linebacker dog position, and Jamil Muhammad is going to have a phenomenal year, maybe the strongest guy pound for pound on our team and one of the fastest. Didn't work out at quarterback. He was a very physical guy. So early on in camp last year, when he was actually playing the quarterback position, he kept saying, Coach, we're going live. I want to go 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 run over these guys. And I said, man, you're going to defense. And it was a slow process of learning that position, but we've got some guys that can certainly step in there. I don't think we're going to miss him all that much.
You could slice this a certain way and say you have 22 starters back, and that's unheard of to be able to say that going into a year, but at this level with guys exercising that COVID year, super seniors have become a thing. There is so much experience back across so many teams in this league.
Yes.
But going back to something we talked about earlier, when everybody might be in the same kind of boat, how can Georgia State separate themselves?
Well, I think it's, first off, injuries, they play a huge role.
Sure.
You got to stay healthy, of course, but we've got when I say great leadership, we have our super seniors that were great leaders. And then that class that we have under them are leaders. In the spring, I separated the super seniors from those younger guys so they could develop and lead our team without the older guys there. I almost can go out, and in spring practice, it was almost just like this. I could watch our football team and not coach our football team because they were so experienced. It's the leadership. And it was one of the most unusual feelings because there wasn't a lot of correcting. You still had some young guys out there, but we had such great leadership that they took ownership, and it was everywhere. I mean, it was everywhere. It's in our special teams, offensive line, defensive line, the secondary, and I just kind of stood back. And, man, that's a pretty good feeling.
All right, I got one more question for you. With camp starting roughly 2 weeks from now, you going to get on the boat at some point before camp starts?
What's today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on the boat tomorrow. If they would have let me had it down here, I would have brought it down here. But certainly I'm getting on that boat.
All right, 3 bowl games in 4 years. Tough schedule this year. You're facing 7 bowl teams. 6 of the squads won at least 8. You'll be in Statesboro October the 30th for an always anticipated matchup, and I know you enjoy that when we enjoy it as well, and we appreciate your time today.
Isn't it great? I tell you what, that is a great game. I mean, I think the game between us and Southern is is phenomenal. I think it builds and builds each and every year, and it's one of those things that makes college football what it is, and we really do. I don't like going down there, of course.
Well, I wouldn't if I were you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Shawn.
Yeah, man, appreciate y'all.